Imagine two people. Both earn exactly $100,000 a year. Both have similar expenses. Both are smart. Yet after 20 years, one has a net worth of $8 million, and the other barely has enough saved for retirement. What happened? Most people assume the millionaire found a better investment. Maybe they picked the perfect stock. Maybe they started a successful business. But the real answer is much less exciting and far more powerful. It's something almost nobody talks about. It's called capital allocation. While most people focus on how much money they make, millionaires obsess over where every dollar goes. Think of yourself as the CEO of your own financial life. Every dollar you earn is an employee. You decide where each employee works. Some employees buy things that immediately lose value. Others work 24 hours a day generating more money. The wealthy understand that every financial decision is really an allocation decision. Spend it, save it, invest it, learn with it, or waste it. Every dollar can only do one job. That's why wealthy people rarely ask, "Can I afford this?" Instead, they ask, "Is this the best use of this dollar?" That one question completely changes how you think about money. Imagine receiving a $5,000 tax refund. Most people immediately think about buying something: a vacation, a new television, a gaming computer, a luxury watch. But someone focused on capital allocation sees $5,000 differently. They see 5,000 tiny workers. If invested wisely, those workers could spend decades earning more workers. That's the difference. The rich don't see money as something to spend. They see it as something to deploy. Another reason capital allocation matters so much is because resources are limited. Every dollar spent today is one less dollar available for future opportunities. Economists call this opportunity cost. Millionaires simply call it common sense. Suppose you spend $50,000 on a luxury car. 5 years later, it might be worth half that. Now imagine investing that same $50,000 into productive assets. The difference over 20 years could be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not because the investment was extraordinary, because the allocation was smarter. The wealthy also understand that not every investment has to be financial. Sometimes the highest return investment is buying back your time. Imagine hiring someone to handle repetitive work so you can focus on building a business, or paying for software that saves hundreds of hours every year, or taking a course that doubles your income. These aren't expenses. They're capital allocations. The return isn't immediate, but over time, it can be enormous. Most people only think about investing in stocks. Millionaires invest in productivity, knowledge, relationships, businesses, health, time, because all of these eventually produce financial returns. There's another hidden principle behind capital allocation. It compounds. Every good allocation makes the next one easier. Let's say someone consistently invests instead of overspending. Eventually, those investments begin producing income. Now they have even more money to allocate. That creates even larger investments, which create even more income. This positive cycle continues for decades. The opposite is also true. Bad allocations compound as well. High interest debt, impulse purchases, lifestyle inflation, expensive habits. Each bad decision makes the next one more difficult. Eventually, you're using today's income to pay for yesterday's decisions. That's exactly how people become trapped financially. Millionaires understand something that sounds obvious, but almost nobody practices. Money should flow toward things that create value, not toward things that simply create excitement. Excitement fades. Value continues paying you long after the excitement disappears. Think about your own spending. How many purchases from 5 years ago still improve your life today? Probably very few. Now think about one investment made 5 years ago, or one skill you learned, or one business you started. Those decisions may still be paying dividends today. That's the power of allocation. The wealthy also avoid something called allocation leakage. These are small financial decisions that quietly drain wealth over time. Unused subscriptions, impulse shopping, constant upgrades, high interest debt, luxury purchases made purely for status. None of these feel significant individually. Together, They quietly redirect thousands of dollars away from productive assets every year. Successful investors don't necessarily earn dramatically more than everyone else. They simply leak less money. Every dollar they keep has another opportunity to grow. Eventually, those small advantages become massive. One of the biggest myths about wealth is that it requires extraordinary intelligence. It doesn't. It requires extraordinary consistency, making slightly better allocation decisions over and over again, choosing investments over liabilities, choosing education over entertainment, choosing long-term growth over short-term pleasure. These choices seem insignificant in the moment, but they shape your financial future more than any single investment ever could. The people who become wealthy aren't always the people with the highest income. They're usually the people who repeatedly make better decisions with the income they already have. That's why capital allocation is one of the least discussed ideas in personal finance. It's not flashy. It doesn't promise overnight riches. It won't make headlines. But it quietly builds fortunes. So the next time money enters your bank account, pause before spending it. Ask yourself one simple question. If this dollar were my employee, what's the most valuable job I could give it? Because the answer to that question may determine whether you stay financially average or quietly build extraordinary wealth.